We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences, so the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Just go to Indeed.com/Blue Wire right now and support our show by saying that you heard about Indeed on this podcast. That's Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
If you guys are not registered to vote, or you just need more info on how to vote and making sure your vote counts, go to sendthevote.com. It's a free bipartisan website. It's not left or right. It's just about making sure that you guys vote and your vote is counted. You can also text NELK to 33022. That's going to be the same as going to sendthevote.com. You're just going to get a text with all the info in your area on how to vote. And like I said, making sure your vote is counted.
I love this Sony Spider-Verse because they can't say the word Spider-Man, or they just don't. So it's been a bunch of movies where there's Uncle Ben and he has a nephew. Wonder what his nephew's name is going to be.
It's funny. It's like legally they can't use any character that's been in the MCU. So because when they introduced Spider-Man in the MCU, they like skipped past they didn't do the origin story.
Thank God.
So Uncle Ben is already dead in the MCU, so they haven't burned that card yet, so they can play Uncle Ben in the Sony Spider-Verse.
You can have Uncle Ben in Sony, but no Aunt May.
No Aunt May. You can't say Peter Parker. You can't say Spider-Man. You have to say non-trademark infringement Spider-Person.
We have Spider-Man at home.
It's basically the Spider-Men that are in Times Square that are legally distinct.
Well, no, we've got like Spider-Man and Dr. Thunder. Like that's what's happening here.
Yes, this is store
one
brand.
of them is the Walmart brand one. Which one?
It's also funny because like they're supposedly setting up their own Sony Spider-Man universe, minus Spider-Man, of course. But so far, so I will admit, I haven't even bothered to watch Morbius, which should really tell you something about Morbius if you and I haven't seen it. Right. But as much as they're theoretically supposedly trying to set this up, they haven't nothing really intersects with anything except for the MCU. All of these movies are basically just trying to trick people into thinking it's an MCU movie.
Yes.
Madam Web, they went really hard in that direction. Madam Web,
I could talk about that movie for so long because it's so awful in so many awful ways.
We would never actually talk about college football if we start talking about Madam Web right now.
Yes.
I'm just stuck on how are these so bad, but Spider-Verse is so good. And that one's literally just all the Spider-Men pointing at each other.
It's a different process, I guess. I don't know. I mean, well, okay. The Spider-Verse movies have Spider-Man. These movies do not have Spider-Man. I think that's probably the big difference. Yeah. It turns out when all of your characters are based around Spider-Man, not having Spider-Man is kind of an issue.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of October 29th, 2024. Happy Hate Week, y'all. It's fucking Hate Week. Fuck Harvard. Fuck all of them. Yeah. The fucking Johns in Cambridge. Fuck them. The 127th meeting of Dartmouth Harvard. Did you know Harvard won the first 18?
Is it hate week if they don't hate you back?
It's hate one direction. I hate them. I don't care if they don't hate me.
It's Donald Draper hate week.
Yes.
I don't even think about you at all. Hate week.
I don't know that we want to hate on One Direction right now, given what happened.
Yes, true. Harvard won the first 18 games, but that's allowed.
Comish's face is so confused.
Yeah, it's fine. Commish doesn't know.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. All right.
Oh my god.
All right.
Harvard does lead this series 73-48-5, but that's fine. I actually saw when I was in undergrad the last Dartmouth win over Harvard for like 15 years. But this year, Dartmouth's going to win this thing. Dartmouth is ranked. Harvard is not. The game is in Hanover, New Hampshire. I believe it's homecoming weekend. So that means we've got our bonfire going. And so traditionally, I don't know if they do this anymore. You would have to run around the bonfire, however many laps your graduating class was. So the class of 98 would run 98 laps. The class of 2000 said, we were going to do this 100 times. So I did it 106. I didn't actually finish the 106. I won't lie. I ducked out early. But basically, you have bonfire, ring of police, freshmen running, ring of upperclassmen screaming at freshmen, and then townspeople and alumni on the outside. It's a lot of fun. Worst part about that is that you do get heavily sunburned on one side of your body if you don't switch directions every once in a while. By sunburn, I mean like radial burning, like radiation burn.
You get toasted like a marshmallow.
Yeah, well, and also at the end of the night, if you go into the food court, they used to sell s'more supplies, so you could make your s'mores on the embers of the bonfire at like 2 a.m. So great times. It is hate week. Fuck Harvard. I have pissed on the statue of Darn Harvard in Harvard Square. I have friends who have done more to it than that. So we got this thing. Go Dartmouth, go green. Pew-pew. As always, I'm Jordan. With me tonight, I have Commish, Pitt Girl, Beth is on assignment, and Arthur on the ones and twos. Commish, how are you, sir?
I'm good. It's been a long day. It's been a crazy night too. We had like a 3-2 game for like the longest going on right now. So I mean, there's some fun going on. I'm excited. Let's go.
Pitt Girl, how are you?
It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Arthur, I guess the cold open will be about talking about Venom: The Last Dance. But otherwise, how are you?
Oh, I don't know. I'll probably cut that and just talk about Venom: The Last Dance here. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. I mean, it was fine. I liked it. Probably didn't like it as much as the first one. Better than the second one, I thought. But, it was a good time.
There we go.
But I'm just ready to talk about some college football. Can you believe it? We've got one more week till I start watching college football.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm so excited to start watching this season. I hear it's been great. And yeah, I mean, I can't wait.
Well, this week, the most notable thing is our not so late slate. The last D1 game, FBS or FCS, kicks off at 8 p.m. Central. And that is a Big Sky game.
I like how they're giving us the like not so late slate on the week that we get an extra hour.
Yeah, that's what I was complaining about, right? Like I said back in the spring when we when we lost an hour, I was saying I'm not losing an hour of sleep, I'm losing an hour of being awake. On this way back though, like I was gonna gain an hour of watching football, and now there's not gonna be any football on. Like, what's going on here? Why are they doing it like this?
So the reason why they are doing this like this, in addition to the fact that, as always, linear time was a mistake, and it is especially a mistake when we're fucking around with the clocks, tangential, we should just stay on summertime all the time. Fuck standard time. All the homies hate standard time.
No, standard time forever.
Stop shaking your head at me, Texans.
Standard time, please.
No, I hate it being dark at 4. This shit sucks.
It doesn't get dark at 4 here. It gets dark at like 4:45 here.
It gets dark at like 4:30 here. It's terrible. Anyway, the reason that
Y'all
this
should
is
just pull an
occurring-
Arizona then, man. Do your own thing, Pennsylvania.
Maybe we should.
Maybe you should.
The reason that this is occurring is because they wanted to create broadcast space and I guess not counter program a hypothetical World Series Game 7, but checking my phone right now, we are in the bottom of the 6th of Game 4 and the Yankees are winning, so it might not be a sweep.
Okay, well here's
But-
my thing though. Here's my thing, right? Because these last slate of games, right? You've got these 8:00 Eastern time games, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
A college football game lasts what, like 3.5 hours?
Yeah.
So these games are ending at like 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even in a world where there's a hypothetical baseball game happening, that's not still going to be going on, right? Like, baseball game would start at like maybe 8 would be the latest they start, but like that would probably be over before any of these games are done.
Isn't
Like
Game
the time
7
slot,
Isn't hypothetical Game 7 in LA though?
Yes,
I
it
have
is.
no idea where it is. I don't know.
Yes, it is. It's in LA.
I didn't even know LA was in it. But I mean, I'm just saying, like,
that's the main reason is because it would overlap there. The latest network game kicks off at 6:30.
yeah. Oh, are you talking like broadcast network?
Yes.
Okay, but I mean, broadcast, like, they don't usually have like a late game on those. I'm talking about like ESPN, like FS1. That's usually where you see the late games.
Yes.
And like the time slot that's being vacated is like at 11:30 Eastern. I mean, I don't know what. Like, there's nothing else that's going to be going on at that time. Like, that's not a time where you're like, oh, we got to clear the runway for something.
Well,
That's
Arthur,
too late for anything to be happening for the East Coast.
Arthur, you're lucky here because there are 2 late games. They kick off at 9 Central.
That's not late enough.
Well, these are 2 D3 games from the Southern California Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, the SCIAC. And these are California Lutheran at Pomona Pitzer, go Sage Hens, and the Claremont Mudscripts Stags at Chapman University. Pomona Pitzer and Claremont Mudscripts are both in Claremont, California, and are both multi-school confederations.
Mm-hmm.
The Claremont Mudscripts is 3 colleges that play as one team. The Sags and the Athenas are their women's teams. And Pomona Pitzer, 2 different colleges, also in Claremont, that play together. Now, I found out, y'all, that they have divisions in that conference. If you look beneath, you can see the names of the divisions. Pitt Girl, what are the names of their divisions?
The divisions are, I am delighted to inform you, the Sun Division, composed of Pomona Pitzer, Redlands, and Laverne. Laverne not doing so hot, they're 0-5.
Yeah.
And Surf, which is Chapman, Claremont Mudscripts, and California Lutheran.
The Sun and Surf. That's so much better than Leaders and Legends. So much better than Atlantic and Coastal, Mountain and West.
Hey, leave Atlantic and Coastal alone.
Well, these are as close as Atlantic Coastal because none of these schools are on the water, just so we're clear. And it's funny because Pomona Pitzer and Claremont Mudscripts, who are in the same town, literally blocks from each other, not even blocks, they share facilities sometimes, are in 2 different divisions. So this is a zipper division kind of thing here. So our late slate is TCU at Baylor on ESPN2, Colorado State at Nevada on CBS SN, and then maybe the biggest game of the week, not counting Ohio State, Penn State, Pitt at SMU, ranked Pitt at ranked SMU.
Don't say this is the biggest game of the week. People are gonna look at us. Don't
On
look
the
at us.
ACC
The biggest game of the week.
Don't look at us.
I mean, so I was looking at the conference schedules, how everything lays out for the rest of the season. All I'm saying right now, you've got some undefeated teams still in the ACC, like in conference, in
Yes.
terms of Miami. You've got Clemson, you've got SMU. You also have Pitt. We're not going to talk about them right now because they don't work for this. But Miami, Clemson, and SMU, they do not play each other, right? Like, we talk about how there's 3 undefeated Big
Yes.
Ten teams. There's 4 undefeated ACC teams, but 3 of them don't play each other. So we could have an undefeated ACC team getting left out, right? So it's the numbers don't look this way because, again, the tiebreaker would be the strength of schedule in conference, right? So, like, the wins and losses of your conference opponents, Miami would still be getting in. But there's a scenario where the teams that Miami plays, they struggle down the stretch. The teams that SMU and Clemson play, they have, a good time down the stretch. And what if, I'm just saying, a year after undefeated Florida State got left out of the playoff, Miami, they go undefeated, but they miss the conference championship game on a tiebreaker. Then suddenly, the committee only has room for one ACC team. They got to take the conference champion. We got to leave out an undefeated ACC team again. I'm just saying it can happen.
Is Cal playing the long game? Is that what's happening with Cal?
I think everyone's strength of schedule. Might be. Breaking news, by the way, just to tell you where we are in linear time. FIU 34, New Mexico State 13. FIU has won. New Mexico State dropped to 2-6. I believe that puts them out of. Yeah, that puts them out. No, they can still make a bowl game with 4 wins in a row. Probably not going to happen. New Mexico State is in a rebuild year this year. So all that being said, our not so late slate, I will of course be on hand for Pitt SMU. Someone made a great point that 7 p.m. ACC network slot is usually a real wild one. Mm-hmm. That was the Miami Georgia Tech we forgot how to kneel time on the ACC network. So I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to see SMU tailgating the ACC version. I have not been there yet since they've been in the ACC. So maybe it's fancier. The canapes will be better. More cigars, more chandeliers.
Check your Blue Sky, by the way. I got you a tailgate invite.
Oh, thank you. I'll check that
You're
out.
Welcome. Yeah, somebody asked me if I was going, and despite the fact that I could have done something real dumb and flown out Saturday morning and back at 6 a.m. Sunday for $200, I decided not to do that.
I will be there for you in spirit.
Thank you.
Et cum tu spiritu. We talked about, let's talk about a couple things tonight. First off, like I said, right now, we just saw FIU win that game. Louisiana Lafayette, Texas State, their first half took 2 hours to play due to a really brutal injury on a Louisiana Lafayette player that they had to take him to the hospital for, and also a clock malfunction.
Oh.
So that first half took 2 hours. It kicked at 6:30 local. The half went at 8:30 all the dot. That's a long ass first half. And then Louisiana Tech at Sam Houston. That game was 3-2 going into half.
At halftime, but Sam Houston decided to score a touchdown to make it 9-3. So it is 9-3 in the third. The Cajuns in Texas State, apparently the Cajuns have a 3rd and 25 right now.
Yes, they do.
But yeah.
What's in the playbook for 3rd and 25?
I don't know. Well, they were in field goal. Well,
it's a shovel pass. It's shovel pass. Did not go. That was not it. Whatever that was, that was not it.
They're in field goal range now. They could take a lead, though. We'll see.
I want to talk about at La Tech at Sam Houston. Last Halloween, our friend CFB Campus Stores was there as well the same week. And that's when he saw the big dick. Do you guys remember the giant dick Halloween costume?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yes. And if I remember correctly, when Sam Houston was in the lead, he got escorted out, and then they let that game go.
Lost. Yes,
right. It was a UTEP game.
It was a bad time. It was a bad. As soon as they had a pretty big lead, and then he got escorted out with the pink Crocs.
Yeah, that's right. Those were the pink Crocs.
They were pink Crocs. Yes, you can't forget about the pink Crocs on top of everything else for that costume. Yeah, after that happened, they wound up. Being unable to hang on to their lead. This year, they decided to go a little bit milder, and they went with Generation 1 Pikachu instead. Is that?
Yes. They got the boxy cut Pikachu.
Box cut Pikachu, which
we love fat Pikachu. He's the best Pikachu.
When I say Gen 1 Pikachu, Commish, do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I have no idea. All I know it's Pikachu, and it's a Pokemon.
Quick summary. Pikachu nowadays is the cute little, slender rat. When the first Pokemon came out, the animal designs weren't as standardized. So Pikachu was super fat. He was a chunky boy.
Well, I will say, if you have played Sword and Shield, you can Gigantamax your Pikachu and then he becomes fat again. They brought him back.
That's okay. That's great.
Yes.
So that's what I say, Gen 1 Pikachu. It's fat Pikachu.
Sure.
The best.
I also, on the timeline tonight, I heard the Sam Houston band playing The Horse. which is one of my favorite band tunes, and asked if anyone else played it. Spoilers, everyone plays the horse. But most funnily enough, the Houston band and Mississippi State bands responded to us going, of course we play the horse. I'd forgotten that the arrangement was written, the most famous arrangement was written by someone who was the director at University of Houston. So I know the exact arrangement they're playing too. At some point, Pitt Girl, I'll play the horse for you. You may recognize it just from it being a general stand tune. It's a 60s like funk tune.
Okay.
But like I know bands were playing it in the 70s and bands are still playing it today. It's just a great band piece. Let's talk about what this schedule looks like this week, because there are some really great games here and there's stuff for us, but this feels a little light this week in terms of just meat on the bone, which means that some real crazy things are going to happen. It's always that week 2, week 3 feel of like,
well, this week we only have like 42 or 43 FPS versus FPS games. Like last week we had like 50 something.
Oh, is
So
this week everybody's bye week?
Everybody's got a little bit of the bye going around this week. So there's they have caught the bye flu, and they decided to just take it off. And
look, they're just figuring things out in college, okay? It's fine. We don't call it the bye flu. They're still figuring out what they want to call it. No one wants that joke?
That flew by me. So
fuck it. There is one FCS FBS game this week. Maine, you're going to Oklahoma. Congratulations.
Do you know what Maine's record is?
They're not
better than
okay this
Oklahoma?
year.
They're the same as Oklahoma. They're both 4-4. Yeah. Our Maine Black Bears they've beat number 5 FCS Villanova.
I remember that.
They have a bag of tricks. They have a lot of trick plays. They were the one last year that threw a flea flicker back into their own end zone.
Yep.
For like a 90-some-odd yard touchdown pass. Like they will do that. So they have no fear. Can they hang with Oklahoma? Probably not.
No.
But they may get one crazy highlight out of it just to upset Oklahoma fans. And the Black Bears will, I love Maine. I got to find a way to get to Maine to go to a game up in Orono. If I said Orono correctly in Maine, but it'd be fun to go take a trip up there to go catch a game. And I don't know. They've looked a lot better the past 2 years.
Agreed.
But I mean, it's Oklahoma. You don't go to Norman.
Maine's also in a very tough conference. So let's talk about our FBS matchups. We'll do what we usually do. We'll talk about things in terms of what is our Sickos game of the week going to be and go from there. I think I agree with you, Commish. Right now, in the current version of the list, number 1 game is Northwestern at Purdue. This is Big Ten classic to me. And I'll get to my rant later about certain games feeling like it's not that time of year. Like this is week 10. And there are certain games that are not giving me week 10 vibes. This one is giving me heavy week 10 vibes.
Yeah. This is a week 10 ass game.
This is Big Ten West forever right here.
Right.
Like this is just my Big Ten West will go on.
Near, far, wherever you are.
That's right.
We need Beth because I know she has a penny whistle on her desk.
Of course she does. And a jaw harp and a recorder and
all of that. It's just like,
Can I spend some melodica?
What? How much is that?
Not a ton.
Not that expensive.
Not as much as a bassoon.
Okay. How much is a bassoon?
Very expensive.
I mean, my bassoon's about 10,000 and it's okay. You can take that up to 50 or 60 very easily.
I mean, I almost want to continue the Celine Dion songs. Like once more, Purdue Pete opens the door.
Yes.
Again.
And I know that my punt will go on and on and on.
We can get a beginner melodica from Guitar Center. Oh no.
Oh no, we lost Commish.
Which is good. Okay, we can buy a melodica without him.
None.
We can get a beginner melodica from Guitar Center for $50, or we can get one from Amazon that's kind of sketchy for $27.99.
I figure we get a nice one. Might as well get a melodica we're going to use for a while.
It's fair.
Uh-oh, the adult's back.
No!
Adults back in the room.
Dang it.
What just happened? Did I get
I don't
kicked?
know.
We bought a lot of musical instruments.
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gave your consent while you were gone. It's fine.
Yeah.
Jordan,
actually.
I thought you were purchasing.
Oh yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I act like I don't have the purse strings here.
I'm so
Jordan
confused.
just bought a heckle phone.
Ooh, a heckle phone would be great. I love those things.
You would.
Y'all kicked me. I swear you did. No,
Sure.
I'm not a mod. I didn't kick you. I can't. Pitt Girl innocent.
The best unit in Northwestern Purdue, of course, is Northwestern's defense. By a long shot, that is the best unit here. Everything else, just toss it all.
Mush.
Right.
Unstoppable force. What's the weather supposed to be like for this game? This
please be gross. Please give me gross weather. That's West Lafayette weather. Give me something gross. I want like sleet or something, you know?
No, it's like 64. It's going to be pleasant.
Oh, okay.
That's no good.
It might be a little cold.
Is there like it feels like this should have a rivalry trophy, but it doesn't?
No, it doesn't. There's just, they've probably played 100 times too. I'm going to say, so many times they've played in history. They've played like 85 times or something.
Okay.
So probably we should go through in the offseason and find the teams that have played the most that are not rivalries and no one just cares about. Like, what are the teams that have played 100 times and everyone's just like, I don't give a shit about this. So I'm going to guess there's a couple of good ones in here. This feels like one of those of like, yeah, we have to play Northwestern every year. Okay. Sure. I guess that's okay.
It's the Cat Train Trophy.
The Cat Train Trophy? Oh, because there's cat in it. That's okay.
Cat in the train, that's it.
You just merge the things together.
That's it.
So I'm picturing what if the cat bus from My Neighbor Totoro, but it's a train. It's a steam train.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because Commish totally knows what the cat bus is, right?
No.
You really got to watch Totoro with your kid. It's a good movie.
It's just a movie. It's short. It's not going to require a lot of time.
It's good for kids. It's a good movie.
It's
good for kids.
This game feels the most spiritually correct for us. There are other arguments to be had, but this one feels really good.
It does. I don't like the stats. It's like Northwestern's like a 2-1 favorite in this one, which is that's Purdue bad. I mean,
yeah, not that this is a game where I would expect the Purduper weapon to go off anyway, but also I don't think Purdue has juice.
I don't know. Like it's like the Purdue weapon like misfired against Illinois, and then like they can't get it back online. I don't like, you know, it almost took out Illinois, but they haven't really been like close in any other game except maybe. I mean, they lost to Oregon State by 17. They lost to Nebraska by 18. Wisconsin killed them.
Yeah, no, there's nothing to hold on to here.
There is no juice in West Lafayette.
Purdue is 1-6. Northwestern is 3-5. Yeah, this is. I don't know, man.
This feels like this would be a relegation battle in soccer. This would definitely be a relegation match between two teams that have been in the Premier League for a long time or that have just rotted out. And one of them is going to end up in the championship and dropping even lower. Can
you do it in a cold, rainy night in West Lafayette?
We have asked that many times, and many teams cannot do that.
No, they can't. So, I mean, Purdue does have a lot of Stoke City vibes. So, they do. I don't know, man. I like, are they still going with Hudson Card? Because when the freshman came in against Illinois, like he lit the world on fire, and then like they're just like, no, back to Hudson Card. Sorry,
we're back to Hudson Card. It's fine.
Hudson's back, and I mean, no offense to Hudson Card, but it's just like it. Give me some wild, crazy excitement freshman that, you know, a little Anthony Calandria, a West Lafayette version. Just, I mean,
or this is going to be just 12-3.
It could be. I could see, you know.
We do like big punts.
There will be a lot of punts. I want a weird score here. Like, give me a weird final score where you have to figure out how they got to the final score.
Okay.
like I mean, it looks like there could be, a lot of field goals, but there was probably like a touchdown where, there was a bad snap or something, and there's a 6 in there somewhere,
Gotcha.
and then
it's
just
giving 15-11.
Yeah,
give me
prime numbers. Let's see some primes.
Yeah, just end this one in a prime number, like 15, 11. How did they get to the 11? There was
15. He's not prime. I realized that after I said it.
5 field goals and whatever you need to do to get to 11.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, a field goal, a touchdown, and a safety. Just go right ahead. Done.
Other option: South Florida at Florida Atlantic. Not a rivalry.
Should be.
Haven't played that often. And every time you mention someone at USF that this should be a rivalry, they get very angry.
Oh, okay. No, that's all the more reason that it should be a rivalry, in my view.
Right.
No, that's the more reason we should call it a rivalry, because it pisses both sides off.
Bitter hatred between bitter hatred between peer institutions and peer athletic departments, South Florida and Florida Atlantic.
I mean, one of those schools is actually in South Florida, so there is that.
2 houses, both alike in dignity, in fair Florida where we lay our scene. Florida, Romeo and Juliet. Has anyone done this before?
But Florida, Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
No, look, I just love that this game
My family is lake folk. My family is ocean folk.
Boca and Tampa, like they hate each other.
Right. We can get this going.
Two cities ending in A, but they can't stand each other.
I mean, again, all I have to say about this is that one of these schools is actually in South Florida.
True.
They should just fight for the right to be the actual USF.
Boca and Tampa, Atlantic Ocean versus the Gulf of Mexico.
There we go. It's a which waterway are you on rivalry? Got it.
That's right. The east side of Florida versus the west side of Florida.
Oh, it's West Side Story, but Florida. Hold up. I like that better.
East Coast, West Coast hatred on the Florida Panhandle. Wait, no, that's not the Panhandle. The tip.
No, the tip.
Yeah, just the tip.
Just the tip. Yeah.
Just the tip.
Okay, if you don't like that, Mitsu at UTEP. This is on 2:30 p.m. on a Saturday. Y'all,
El Paso.
That feels weird.
On what channel?
CBS Sports Network.
Da, 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 da.
But that feels good over El Paso, because at least you get the landscapes, right?
Yeah.
You got the stadium that's carved into the mountain.
I mean,
And the Sun Bowl's on
there.
CBS.
The Sun Bowl's there. It's on CBS, so it's natural.
This one feels so weird to be on a Saturday. This time of year, this thing should be on at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday. It should not be on a Saturday afternoon. But I guess like CBS Sports needed to fill up the space.
Well, I mean, you got to remember the Conference USA weeknight stuff. That's an October thing, and we're going to be out of October by the time we hit the weekend.
And we're back into MAC November.
Mm-hmm.
Next Tuesday, MACtion starts.
Then there's nothing else happening next Tuesday.
Though there is a big thing happening. It is the first, when they're announcing the college football playoff first round, the first rankings.
Yeah, no, like I said, there's nothing else happening next Tuesday.
MACtion. I did love the MACtion meme where it was just like
Kornacki.
No, it was the Jeb meme, and it's just with the MACtion over Jeb's face, and it's the entire country MACtion. We got tagged in that. Thank you so much, Mac, and whoever made that. I forgot the account. It's great. I was upset because the MTSU Middle Tennessee UTEP game was like, why is this not like the late night game? And I was like, why the hell are we not closing out the night this weekend with this game?
This would be good at like a 9 p.m. Yeah.
But there's another one on CBSSN, which we'll get to in just a moment.
Oh, that's right. It's the Colorado State, Nevada.
Yes. At 7 p.m. Central. Okay. Yes.
So that makes sense. Okay.
It's a Mountain West. It works.
Another option, a 3 o'clock game on True TV, Wyoming at New Mexico. This one should be a pretty close game. And I am really feeling this one in terms of New Mexico offense is great. They've been a lot of fun to watch. They have been
last week.
And is their quarterback still healthy?
Yes, but a lot of spinach.
Right. Now, Wyoming's offense has been bad.
Yeah, I was just squinting at our show notes because you put Stats of War's analysis of this game up.
Bigger for
And
you there.
I'm really, really not. There's so much red there, and I'm really not used to bad Wyoming. Like, I know intellectually that Wyoming is not good this year, but like this feels wrong. I don't like it.
They're really bad. However, their offense is dealing with one of the worst defenses. New Mexico's defense is bad. So this is very immovable object. No, other one. Movable object, unstoppable force. Like this is that side of the ball's gonna be bizarre. I think my favorite thing about this game is just seeing if New Mexico's offense can pop off, they could score 40, 50 pretty easily here. But if it doesn't, this one's gonna like bog the hell down. So far we have a Big Ten game, an American game, we have a Mountain West game, a Conference USA game, and a Mountain West game. Those are our 4 options so far. Let's add some Big Ten into the mix. TCU at Baylor, 7 p.m. ESPN2.
We already had Big Ten. This is Big 12.
Big 12, my bad, Big 12.
Neither of them have 10 or 12 teams anymore. So
that's fine. Nothing matters. This is the rivalry, aka the Blue Bonnet Battle, which is the name that they're trying to push on this thing.
This is the rivalry.
That's a shame. The 120th meeting. TCU leads the series 59-53-7. And the real bad blood here is that TCU was first founded in Waco, and TCU claims that Baylor burned down their first administration building.
Oh, no. Wait, there's stuff that's been burned down in Waco before?
Yeah, true. Not the first time, not the last time. Shiplap is not fire safe, guys.
No, it's definitely not. Chip and Joanna, again, shout out to Magnolia.
Don't go there, guys. There's so many better places in Waco. Go someplace else.
Really? There's better places in Waco?
But I was just it's Waco, Jordan.
Waco has gotten God, don't make me you're gonna make me fucking defend Waco. Waco has gotten significantly better in the last 20 years.
Defend Waco like other people have done.
Kids, if you don't know what we're talking about, look up Branch Davidians, Waco.
No, I was talking about Dr. Pepper, but okay.
That's fine too.
Imagine it. Oh God, you're right. There are probably so many Zoomers out there who don't know what we're talking about.
Oh God, no. Look, I'm old as hell, right? And so that happened. And then Baylor folks came to my high school and were trying to get people to go to Baylor. Like after that happened.
Oh, that's a rough sell.
And it was just like, I'm like, dude, what are you doing here? You got no shot. Like nobody coming. No way.
This did occur before Arthur or I were born, for the record. But I do know about it.
But it was, it was a couple years after, and it was still like, no, man, it's too fresh. Because in the 90s, we didn't move on. Like that shit lingered. We didn't have like refresh the tweets,
I don't know that we have listeners that are too young to know about that.
I mean, it was 93. And I will say that, hey, SNL did a skit about that.
Zoomer listeners, because I know you exist. If you did not know about the Branch Davidians until we talked about it now, let us know.
Yeah,
I want to know. And tell us approximately how old you are. Because I want to know.
Yeah, I want to hear from our Gen Alpha listeners.
Oh,
that's
God.
like the new thing now.
Oh, God. If you are under 13, you should not be listening to this podcast.
I think if you're under 30, you shouldn't be listening to this podcast.
I can't listen to our show.
No,
no.
Anybody in college, listen. You're
that
good.
would explain a lot of my production if I wasn't actually listening to the show.
Okay, TCU Baylor. I need some vibes on this game. I'm getting faces. Oh God.
No. I don't. TCU has been wild this year. Like it feels like TCU has not played a normal game. And then now there's this weird swell of like Baylor folks. We got to keep Dave Aranda around, and
But I like that
like,
because I feel like that is the correct move for them to make. They don't have higher data random money.
This is funny. This is funny stuff for me though, because if you look at how Baylor started the year, they got Utah beat them. Baylor beat Air Force. That's fine. Colorado wins on wheeled Hail Mary overtime thing, right? They get the Hail Mary. They hang with BYU, but they lose to BYU late. They're tied with like Iowa State, and then Iowa State pulls away. Then they just beat the elephant crap out of Texas Tech. They beat Oklahoma State. So like your normal like Big 12 like cohorts that you typically play, you're playing at that level. Now you face your basically your arch nemesis in conference here, with 5-3 TCU, which TCU has been incredibly. TCU lost to Houston. TCU like beat Utah 13-7, and then they beat Texas Tech by like 1, and so TCU got blown out by SMU. I mean, there's none of these schools, none of these two teams really have made much sense this year, and I can't make any sense into this game whatsoever. And so it feels like this is the game where, like, after a quarter, either one team is like extremely up and the other team is like in the depths of despair. And I have a feeling it's going to be one of those, the heart meter and the win probability is going to go off the charts in one direction. Okay. And I have no idea what it's going to look like, but I just feel like this game, like, this is why I never gamble, because this game, I would never touch this game with any type of money whatsoever. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen here. And if you are confident that you know what's going to happen here, you're much better than me, because I have no idea what's going to happen in this ridiculous rivalry game that ends on fire drill field goals, that ends like 61-58, that ends like just in ridiculous fashion almost every single time it's played.
I would like to point out, first off, I dropped in the chat a picture of the trophy itself. I hate it. It's not great. But look at the back of the trophy. It's got leather straps.
They got like straps.
So
it's a shield? You can carry it into battle?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a shield, right?
That makes it better.
Right. So all of a sudden, I hate this less. From other pictures I've found, people can hold it like a shield. So maybe this isn't as bad.
I'm going to need them to make enough of them for the whole football team. Everybody on the football team gets one. And after you win the game, you form a phalanx.
Ooh, yes. I mean, one of our favorite bowl games gives out leather shields as their MVP awards. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
True.
So this could be a good step in the right direction. Colorado State, Nevada, 7 p.m. CBS-SN.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, clearly these are where the eyes are going to be instead of Pitt SMU. Please don't look at us. Oh God, please don't look at us.
I mean, they put us on ACC Network, so unless you want to see like political ads and spurtles.
All right, so this is coach hate. Remember, Norvell left Nevada to come to Colorado State. Norvell has not made it to a bowl game since he left. If he wins this game, Colorado State clinches bowl eligibility.
Okay. I like the story.
The projections here, from what I'm seeing, is Nevada's favored, which I don't, on the ESPN analytics, Nevada's 63% to 37%, which doesn't make any sense to me. I love that. I'm really, really fascinated by Braden Fowler Nicolosi.
Oh, he's just an absolute madman. Yes,
but so he's got 1,454 passing yards.
Yes,
he has 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. He has a lot of yardage for like not a lot of results, and I would love to see the Detmer results, because I feel like he's on the board.
I need to pull those out again.
Yeah.
Once the Tuesday games get going, it's hard to get him done, but I'll pull him out.
yeah, the to keep the habit going and everything. But this is going to be weird. Nevada did not look good at all on the island against Hawaii, and Hawaii kind of dominated them. But then you go back to the mainland, and you're back in Reno. You're back there. You're back home. You got Lieutenant Dangle on your side. You know, who knows what's going on there. And this is going to be a nightcap for us. So I kind of feel like, it's got to be up there. And in terms of unpredictability here with the coach hate and going back to Reno again, because 2 years ago when he went back to Reno for the first time, that was the game of the week. And that was like 6 or 7 turnovers in 2022. So this, we may be going to the well here, but this should be fun to watch for us.
I do have to give a shout out to Drew Watts. He is a linebacker for Nevada. Like tons of tackles, 57 tackles, 37 solos, like just absolutely all over the place. He has been so much fun to watch on that Nevada defense. Tulsa at UAB. Tulsa coming off of, this is ESPN Plus only, by the way, which always gives it a little spice.
Ooh.
Tulsa coming off their huge comeback win at UTSA, 46-45. And UAB just chugging along.
Can we describe what UAB is doing as chugging?
I mean, they won a game, which was something I didn't think they were going to do. So that's good.
It's very like Magikarp uses Splash while Electrode uses Explode, but the Magikarp has enough HP to survive.
They came within 10 of South Florida. So depending on how good you think South Florida is, they gave Alabama hell. They did beat, that was last year. Like they beat Temple, that was last year. I think that this is, man, I really do think UAB is running on fumes at this point. They're 1-6. Tulsa's 3-5. They look to be better. Unfortunately, UAB's quarterback, Jacob Zeno, is out. Who had been a bit of a Detmer darling as well. This really makes me worried about UAB this week in terms of just not getting blown out. I get worried that they don't have anything on offense at this point.
So UAB has, let's see here. They're 1-6. They have 5 games left. They welcome in Tulsa. They welcome in UConn. They go to Memphis. They welcome in Rice. And then they go to Charlotte.
I don't see wins there. I don't see any wins there.
Maybe at Charlotte. Maybe.
I'm not giving
Beef's Biff Boys. Nope, wrong.
Yeah.
Beef's Boys. Beef's Biff Boys. Beef's Biff Boys is like the worst. Is the worst Peter Pan knockoff ever. Are those the Lost Boys? No, those are Beef's Biff Boys.
Biff's Beef Boys.
Yeah.
Beefy Boys.
Beefy Boys.
They eat beefaroni. So, does Tulsa have an emotional letdown after a huge comeback win at home and they go on the road to like Birmingham where there's like no energy in the stadium whatsoever?
That's the thing, right? Remember what they were like? We had this conversation about the UAB sideline. Like they're all sad. Pitt Girl.
You don't think falling concrete on Halloween weekend is energy?
No, they don't play at Legion Field
anymore. They don't play at Legion Field anymore.
You can't do that.
Stadium. It's a new stadium.
They have a nice shiny stadium.
That's right.
Okay, but at least the falling concrete was a vibe.
The falling concrete was at least keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, it was an aesthetic.
That's what they got soft in the new stadium. That's the problem. Put their asses back in Legion Field until they get better. We got raccoons, bats, and falling concrete. You fucking pick up your game, kids. What about UMass trying again for an SEC win? So Pitt Girl, you're making the eyebrows.
Look,
do this.
If they're gonna do it, it's gonna be this one.
It's gonna be this one, right?
Mississippi State is down so bad.
They can't. Mississippi
But
State can't let this happen.
But what if they did, Commish?
No. Well, I mean, Mississippi State has lost to Maine.
Mm-hmm.
They have lost to like G5s.
Mm-hmm.
They have had this happen, but I think Mississippi State's got enough to take out UMass. I think so. And they got the home field Muscadine advantage of the dairy. So, dude, it's funny that UMass has a better record than Mississippi State right now.
Yeah, but against very different competition. I'm not one to ever be like strength of schedule, but that's very different competition.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Minutemen is going to be a lot of maroon.
What worries me the most here, if I'm Mississippi State, what worries me the most here is that UMass's offense can kind of do things when they need to. It's not great, but Mississippi State's defense is very bad.
Mm-hmm.
And they've shown that against all sorts of teams. This is what I would worry about. If Mississippi State's offense gets on the field, we're okay. Their offense is pretty good. They're pretty good for FBS, not for SEC. Does that make sense?
I don't think it's close. I think Mississippi State wins by like 21, but
Okay.
all the Mississippi State fans hate themselves.
Well, there's no what outcome of this game would make Mississippi fans feel okay with it? 60, 50?
Mississippi fans or Mississippi State fans?
Mississippi fans are looking
true.
for the outcome.
If you're looking at like Mississippi fans are like UMass wins, that'll make them feel good.
Mississippi State fans. If you're a Mississippi State fan, what outcome do you want that will make you feel like this is okay?
A 77 to 3, and I'll probably feel good.
If it's 21, do they feel bad? Do they feel good about it?
No,
that's not enough points.
If it's like, let's say Mississippi State wins this 42 to like 10, you feel okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be like, it'll be like 49 to like 21 or something.
Okay.
Or like 17, 49-17, and you're just kind of like, at least I could go see a game this year for the ticket prices that'll probably be cheaper than normal, right?
Yeah, probably not super expensive.
Is it homecoming? Did they schedule UMass for homecoming?
I hope so. That would make a lot of sense. Let's see it. I do appreciate that they have not scheduled this game for their usual like second to the end of the season game. Like, get a little more interesting in the middle. Is this homecoming? I can't tell. But it is? Okay. Well, that's a good choice then.
Homecoming. Yeah.
Good choice then.
Yeah, Thursday, October 31st. They got museums tours. Oh, they have the cheese store. Oh, man.
Ooh.
Starkville tailgate the town. Oh, Stark Vegas. Then there's the game. Yeah, UMass. Yeah, good call for homecoming, Mississippi State. Good job. You needed this.
Apparently, Mississippi State has a fine tradition with Edam cheese. Edam, is that you say it? EDAM? Mm-hmm. The big like cheese and wax. And they make these giant like balls of Edam.
Ooh.
Because apparently back in 1938, they ordered some Edam molds from Holland. They started making Edam, and then they've done it ever since. So there you go. Learn something new today. Also, that's the place that has the ice cream that has the grape juice like rippled into it.
Yes.
No, it's very good. I want to try that. Stanford at NC State is a conference game.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm so tired.
I was going to say this to complain about a later game, but I'll put it here. I won't lie, y'all. The novelty of these new conference matchups is starting to wear off. This is no longer feeling like a fun non-conference or weird bowl game. It's just like, I don't want this.
Why are we making Stanford do this?
Why are we making them play at like 9 a.m. their time in Raleigh, North Carolina?
Yeah.
Like, cut them a break body clockwise at least. Like, back it up a little bit.
Do you feel like Cal's having more fun in their new conference than Stanford is?
Cal is 0-4 in their new conference. We discussed this last time.
Oh, I know, but
Yeah.
I that has nothing
I
to
don't
do with
think
that.
they're having. I don't think they're having fun.
Really? I
Their
think
Twitter is.
I think Cal is like living their best life right now in their new conference.
Cal Twitter certainly is.
Cal
I
Twitter
mean,
is.
Stanford got that banger against Syracuse.
Yep.
Yeah, but so Cal has had a heartbreaking loss against Florida State. Cal has had a heartbreaking loss against Miami. Cal has had a heartbreaking loss against NC State. Cal has had a heartbreaking loss. Who was the other ACC team that they lost to?
Pitt. They missed
It was
a
a
field goal.
loss.
They missed a field goal. Yeah,
It was. Yeah.
I don't think Cal, the football team, is having a great time in the ACC. Cal Twitter, on the other hand, will have a great time regardless. And
That's true.
See, I disagree. I don't think they would be having this much fun in the Pac-12.
They probably would not have gotten game day.
Right.
Probably not. No.
So I think that in general, even with an 0-4 record, Cal feels like they're settling into their new digs better than Stanford. I've yet to see a Stanford game where I'm like, oh, now it feels like they're playing, they're feeling good in the ACC. It still feels like, oh, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, like
I mean, Stanford and Wake felt like a Red Box Bowl. You know,
yeah,
like the one that's just out on the West Coast in like Levi Stadium, or the one that was in the San Francisco Giants ballpark, the Emerald Nut Bowl or whatever. Foster Farms.
The Craft Fight Hunger. Yeah, that one. I think that, well, yeah, we'll see how this ends up at the end of the season. We should probably do at the end of the season how did this fandom, how did this program feel in their new digs? Because I feel like Stanford, to me, it's still the most, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, like things aren't going great for Cal. Like they're, it's their first semester of college, and like they didn't learn enough study skills in high school, and so their classes aren't going very well. But they did make friends with all the kids on their floor.
Yeah. And maybe they need to drop that advanced physics class. No one needs that. You're not going to be a physicist. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Cal is learning that they're not going to be a doctor, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Go be a computer science. Do a startup, Cal. You're fine. Talk to Stanford about startups. Vanderbilt at Auburn. He's coming for you, Hugh. He's coming for you.
Go, Diego, go.
I want to bury this one. We need to put this at the bottom of the list. I want to not perceive this because
it's the very bottom. We're going to rank Vandy at Auburn at the very bottom.
I do kind of think that it's a little too mainstream for us now.
It is. Everybody's expecting it. Like
it broke contain.
I feel like I love this point when we've been pushing something for weeks or months.
Years.
Or
literal years at this point.
At this point, we've been pushing, and then all of a sudden, it breaks into the mainstream, and then we're like, "Oh, okay, we can't." Too many people are talking about this. We got to back away. Like we gotta step away from the Diego Pavia, beating Hugh Freeze. Like we were there when he beat the ever living crap out of Liberty.
Yep.
We were there when there was just like there's nobody in the stands in Liberty, and it's like 49-0 or 56-0 or whatever, and New Mexico State's on the way to the Quick Lane Bowl. There's rest in peace, Quick Lane Bowl. There is a certain nature to this now. It's like it's an SEC game. Auburn gets a win over Kentucky. Vandy has a really tough loss to Texas. Now Vandy's going on the road to Auburn, and Hugh Freeze has already claimed illness against seeing the quarterback.
No. Here's a tip. Here's a tip for everyone else on the pod. If we just talk while it's going on, like StreamYard can't handle it.
Yeah,
and it cancels a lot out. So
that's good. Okay, instead of just stopping and doing horns down.
Yeah, you do horns down. You just have to talk through.
Yeah, because the listeners have not evolved a means of seeing the horns down yet. We have to make sure they can hear the horns down.
I mean, at some point we'll do live shows, right?
Did you see what Hugh said about this?
Yes, he's sick of Diego.
He was joking, but he said, "I'm sick of seeing that quarterback. I've had enough of him."
Hugh Freeze, illness,
Which I bet
Diego
you are.
Pavila.
Oh man, this is going to be fun. I don't know. I'm excited for this. The thing about it is that the Alabama game took the shine off of it, right? The Alabama game was the one.
Yeah, I mean it did and it didn't, right? Because like it's still, it's still Auburn losing another SEC game. It's still Hugh Freeze getting his ass handed to him by Diego Pavia for the third time in a row, or for the third time in 3 years at a third different school, which is funny and amazing in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not the, oh fuck, we lost to Vandy in the same way, because Vandy's good.
Like legitimately good. So
yeah. Vandy has been ranked at last week, and they maybe not should have fallen out of the poll.
Yeah,
I don't.
Vandy should have stayed ranked. That was some bullshit. They played Texas pretty close.
The difference between Mizzou and Vandy in the poll was tiny. Like I get that. I probably would have, in my poll, I would have had Vandy on there, not Mizzou.
Speaking of poll.
Yeah, so we'll do our plugs right now. Our poll is coming out. Our poll is open for voting this week after this weekend. The most important vote you're going to have in the next week or so.
That's right.
If you're in line, stay in line.
If you're in line, you fucked up, because our poll doesn't require a line. Ask people what you're in line for, because it's definitely not our poll. As always, you get to vote for 10 college football teams / things. Do us a huge favor, and when you vote for teams, just put the team name. Don't put their mascot too. We don't need any of that. We'll figure all that out ourselves.
Also, keep it different. Like we're trying to limit the ballot stuffing, which there was a good bit last time, which we put in the rules. Don't just put one team through 1 through 10.
We'll toss it.
Yeah, we're gonna limit those, and it's just like you're trying to, influence the highly regarded Sickos Committee poll. This is something that's been going on, and we want to maintain integrity. Mm-hmm. We don't want any, funny business at the polling place, which is our Google form.
Mm-hmm. We here at the Sickos Committee do reserve the right to deduplicate your poll and otherwise maintain the security and integrity of our poll. Thank you.
Make sure also that you spell Cincinnati correctly if you're voting for Cincinnati. Look that up.
I'll put that on the rules hard. Like I did last time.
Mm-hmm. And then after the poll will be open probably Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Tuesday we'll close it, and we will have results for you. Oh God! Why is everything happening on Tuesday?
Yeah, because there's nothing else happening on Tuesday. We've already established this.
I mean, potentially the end of the world, but whatever.
That's fine. Hey, whatever. Nothing. Never mind. Cut all that. It's fine.
Yeah, what the fuck was that, Jordan?
Shit out of that.
I don't know. Cut that. It's fine.
Cut that, Arthur, please. For the love of God. What?
Never mind. Our poll will close on Tuesday. Make sure you get your vote in. Follow the rules, all that good stuff. And then we will announce results Tuesday on the podcast, probably if we have them. If not, the poll results will go out probably Wednesday or Thursday.
It may take some time for the votes to be tabulated. Please be patient. Sometimes these things take time. Got to wait for all the mail ballots to arrive.
That's right. And
if you find yourself putting your Sickos poll on a mail ballot, you're also doing it wrong. Look at the address and figure out what you're voting to. You're probably not voting it to us.
I mean,
we do have a PO box.
We do have a PO box.
I don't think that's on like the list though.
There also, I am thinking about, of course, Jordan, you will remember the Hello Internet flag election. They were still getting postcards for that like 2 years afterwards. So you never know.
There was the episode of Hello Internet where he said, hey, why don't you send me a message if you're on a plane listening to this? And they were getting stuff from that like 10 years later. Mm-hmm. As always, check out the College Football Blitz on the Varsity app. They are College Football Red Zone Radio every Saturday for 12 hours from noon to midnight on the East Coast. They will go back and forth between all the games, no matter where they are in the country, and give you both sides of the radio call on a lot of the games, so you can hear exactly where the action's happening. It is the best way to consume college football when you're on the go. Going to fall festivals are still going on after Halloween. So if you're going to go into a corn maze or bobbing for apples or whatever with your family, this is how you keep up with it and still function in society.
Do we still bob for apples?
Yes.
We do?
We do.
Like, really?
No? Yes.
It seems kind of unsanitary.
Yeah, after COVID, do we still do that?
Here's a little pro tip for everybody. You can go to most grocery stores and find apples, and you can just buy them.
They do sell them.
Easier.
They do sell them by the bag. I want to note we have something special going on in our store that I just launched today. This is oh man, I am so excited by this thing. I got the sample for this thing. It is the Sickos fan stand. So the Sickos #1 fan. It's beveled. It's an acrylic stand that is 5 inches tall. It is like the perfect gift for Christmas for anybody. We are taking pre-orders for this. It is just $25 for this stand. The majority of the profits do go to the cartoonist Ward Sutton that did create the licensed thing that we use for our logo. And this stand is basically at my work at home desk right now, just staring at me every time I'm doing work and I get upset, and I just look over and I just smile. And it is brightened my day at my work day. And we've gotten so many comments. We've gotten a bunch of pre-orders already. We need to get to 100. We are well on the way to it. We need to get 100 to be able to sell this. So if you could do that, buy that for yourself for Christmas. Like when you're sitting there watching Maction, or you're watching whatever bowl game, the ISIS bowl game, or the Cure Bowl.
They follow us now. We can't call it the ISIS bowl game anymore.
We're going to keep calling it that.
We're going to call it the ISIS bowl game. When, you are watching the Mayo Bowl and it's just you watching the game, you will have a little buddy with you if you buy this stand. Your little buddy, your little Sicko acrylic stand will be there watching the game alongside you. Wherever you want to put this, it is incredible. I love this thing so much, and I want all of you to own this along with us. But we need to get to 100 total, which we're on the way. I think we're about a fifth of the way there in a day. But we got to do it by November 8th. So please purchase, and then we get those, and you'll get those before Christmas for sure, guaranteed.
As always, $5 a month. Join our Patreon. Get access to our Discord. Chat with us during the games. Our merch store, which has other things as well. sickoscommittee.org. Our YouTube, Instagram, Twitch. We have our Sickos Substack, which we do our weekly Sickos stat summaries and our weekly Sickos awards. Shout out to Message Board Geniuses podcast. They go to the places we refuse to go. And as always, Home Field, the softest, comfiest, licensed collegiate apparel. I wore my Tulane joggers the other night for the first time in a while since the weather was good. They were delightful. Right now, I'm rocking my Spin Your Head Goldie shirt. I see a Pitt shirt. Commish, what do you got today? Your Camp Randall, Wisconsin shirt? Yep. If you've never ordered from them before, use offer code yes, ha, ha, yes, ha, 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 yes, 3 ha's for 15% off your first order. And our Sickos hat showcase this week is great. It is UMass and Mississippi State. And both the hats look amazing. UMass fans are incredibly excited about this. Those hats are 25% off, whether you've ordered from them or not before. Use offer code yes, hat, yes, for 25% off those hats.
Hey, Prime members. Have you heard? You can listen to your favorite podcasts ad-free. Good news. With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free podcast. That's amazon.com/ad-free podcast to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Credit Karma is your evolved financial assistant, making managing your finances simpler and more tailored to you. Join us at creditkarma.com to start your personalized financial journey today and continue to grow with our innovations. Credit Karma. Evolve your finances.
We're back to our games now. And NBC's big 6:30 game, this is what they're putting on that the country's going to watch, is Wisconsin at Iowa.
Oh, God, yeah.
Someone made the joke about Iowa, Iowa only scores 6 points, ha ha ha, only scores 3 points. Y'all, Iowa has done some crazy things. I want to show y'all, I threw together a chart tonight that I usually pull up. It's first half points versus second half points. Because some teams tend to do more in the first half, more in the second half. I want y'all to look at that chart I just dropped in the chat and find Iowa for me, because once again, Iowa finds a way to be an outlier. Below the line is first half points more than second half. Above the line is more second half than first half.
You know why Iowa does that?
Why?
Because they got the power-ups.
That's right. They get their superstar.
That's right.
And all of a sudden, Super Kirk Ferentz.
Super Kirk Ferentz.
They score so much more in the second half.
They just take a little while to get going. It's an Iowa corn diesel engine.
Having to pull start this thing.
There's a lot of.
It's got to get hot. Yeah,
that ethanol that you get. That ethanol's got to get rolling. That biodiesel.
I would love
ethanol wrong.
Ethanol.
Yeah.
Ethanol,
okay.
Ethanol.
Yeah.
That ethanol.
Ethanol.
Like Pitt Girl made a face. Is like, what the hell?
I was questioning if I was crazy.
I did the same thing. I was like, oh my God, have I been saying it wrong all this time?
The ethanol. The ethanol. This is that Earl thing that I do. Look at that ethanol out there. Got all that ethanol out all over there.
Iowa has scored over 40 twice this month. Like,
that's so many.
We can't make the jokes anymore. Now, if you want to say that it takes forever for them to start, that's fine. That joke is still real.
It'll work. It's an ethanol engine.
It's like a soapbox racer. Once gravity's got to get going for a bit, but once gravity takes over, it's fine.
Yeah. See, I was just thinking that they're like the weed whacker that you use like twice a year, and so when you need to start it, you just got to be like, you're just standing there like swearing at the pull start for like 20 minutes. But once it starts, it's fine.
Just don't turn it off.
I can see like Kirk Ferentz doing that. Like he's had the same weed whacker for like I don't know. Like it's been
40 years. Yeah,
40 years. He's got the. Do you think Kirk Ferentz even has like a lawnmower, or is it like one of those like push things that?
Oh, that just has the blades.
He's got the real mower. Yeah.
Yeah, like the real. I could see like Kirk Ferentz having like a Scythe.
Kirk Ferentz has been coaching for way too long to not have like a nice lawnmower.
A nice ride-on. Yeah.
Kirk Ferentz, bad boy mower owner.
No, Kirk Ferentz has got to be John Deere, right?
Is the bad boy mower too flashy? He doesn't have the sound bar on it?
No. Kirk Ferentz, John Deere, single cup holder. And I mean, it just standard like riding lawnmower, nothing too. I don't even think Kirk Ferentz wants a 0 turn radius. Like that's just too flashy.
It's flashy.
Too flashy for Kirk Ferentz. Too flashy.
I want my turns to be nice and wide.
I want to earn these turns.
I was going to say Kirk Ferentz relishes the challenge of getting a really nice stripe on his lawn without the 0 turn mower.
You got to put a little more effort into it. Yeah, I agree with that. We get 2 bits of action at the same time on broadcast television.
On
Toledo
Saturday.
Michigan, 11 a.m. ESPNU. Buffalo at Akron, 11 a.m. CBS Sports Network. Akron, Ohio. Not the Rubber Bowl, whatever they call their stadium now.
Infocision. I know that because I've been there.
That's right. Toledo at Eastern is probably the more interesting game to me, because Eastern at home has been pretty good. Toledo has not been as good as I thought they were going to be, but this is actually a pretty good game, I think. Buffalo to Akron, Buffalo has just been hot cold.
Okay, so I'm fascinated by Toledo and Eastern Michigan because both of them are coming off of like bad losses.
Yes.
Like Eastern Michigan probably should not have lost to Akron, but they did.
Toledo, the numbers say they should not have.
Yes. Toledo losing to their hated rival, Bowling Green. They again probably feel pretty awful. So this is like a pretty awful feeling bowl.
Yeah.
And I'm more fascinated by that because these are 2 teams that were probably in the mix for like MAC title.
Yes.
Then you go to Buffalo and Akron, Akron, honestly, I think they may have equaled their win total from last year already. This year,
They did, yes.
they did. Yeah. So, is Akron playing with like house money?
I was just gonna say now they're playing with house money, absolutely.
But Peatland Buffalo 4-4. Peatland Buffalo has been hot and cold. I mean, if you look at this whole year, they have been hot and cold. They beat Lafayette. They lost to Mizzou. They beat UMass. They lost to Northern Illinois. They lost to UConn. They beat Toledo. They lost to Western Michigan, and they got killed by Ohio. So there's no
wild
consistency in Peatland Buffalo. The Buffalo Wings, sometimes they're mild, sometimes they're medium, sometimes they're hot.
But that's on purpose. They're not like fucking shishito peppers where every 1 out of 10 is gonna blow your head off.
Well, I mean, if you're trying to make homemade buffalo sauce, man, sometimes you don't get the measurements right. Peatland Buffalo is, he's not used to all the ingredients there to get the wings to the same heat, same temperature. But he's working overtime. And then like Akron, I love Joe Moorhead, and I love like them as like they will fight every single game. Like Akron does not drop effort in ever. And so I don't know. Again, I'm an Akron Zips homer. I don't know how the hell this happened, but I am an Akron Zips homer, and I've never been there.
It's been wild to watch you gain fandoms over the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been an Akron Zips fan since like the 90s. Like I wore an Akron Zips hat.
Is that because of your Dayton connection?
No, I wore an Akron Zips hat. Like, those hats that you used to buy that had like everybody would buy like the South Carolina one that said Cox.
Yeah.
Or like the one that said Moorhead State. I bought the one that said Zips. All right. And then I was dared to wear an Akron Zips hat in Death Valley when LSU played Akron and LSU beat
I recall you telling this story on the pod.
Yeah.
I got tiger baited. Like they were like Zips, tiger bait. I'm like, I just hope to score. And and they didn't. They lost 56-0. But Kevin
The
Falk
moral
had
of the
like
story
2 or
here
3
is that Commish has always been like this, and none of this is a bit. We're
None
actually
of
just
this
like
is-
this.
This has been my whole life, and this is a lifestyle. This embrace the Sickos lifestyle.
Sickos Committee. It's not a phase. It's a lifestyle.
It is.
It's not a phase, Mom. I've
not a
always been
phase,
like this.
I've always been like this. Screw you guys. I'm all about the Akron Zips. Why are they not good? I don't know. They play in something called the Rubber Bowl. This is awesome.
No, they don't play the Rubber Bowl anymore.
Well, when I first,
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
2 more games where I feel like I'm just tired of new conferences. Arizona State at Oklahoma State, Arizona at UCF.
No.
I don't want Arizona at UCF. I don't want this. This is the space game too. They're bringing out the space uniforms for this one.
No. I hate it.
Right? None of this feels like I don't want any of this. Even as a bowl game, I'd be like, I don't know about this, y'all.
So like Arizona, Oklahoma State, they played last year.
Arizona State, Oklahoma State.
Arizona State, Oklahoma State. They played last year. That was our Sickos game of the week.
Yeah.
Was.
But this year I am much less interested. One, because Oklahoma State is bad.
I don't know what, Oklahoma State has like a wasting disease, and I just don't I don't know what happened.
Are we just getting to the end of Mike Gundy's tenure? Like, is that what this is?
It feels like it. It feels like what Gary Patterson's last year felt like.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like, Mike Gundy's one where, man, I have no idea how this ends for him or for Oklahoma State.
I don't know. He got headbutted by a cow. I thought that would get them back on track.
It
has not worked out.
Okay, Arthur, gonna have to cut this one.
Do we have to cut that?
Did you see like the homecoming sign? This is Oklahoma State's homecoming. Did you see the homecoming sign for the
Panaderia Pete?
Yes. It's great.
I loved him. I voted for him. I went and they have a voting thing.
Oh,
we
can vote for him.
Oh God.
Voted.
Link the poll. We gotta have that one win.
I'll find it.
Yeah,
Panaderia Pete's great. He's in the rare Pete collection that I've started.
Honestly, I feel like if both running backs in this game can get going, I would really enjoy the Oklahoma State game. I want Ollie Gordon to get on track. I want Scattaboo running all over the place. I just want like a rushing show here. Like give me run after run after run. I just don't even try to pass either one of these teams. Just run the damn ball. Run the damn ball the entire game. I want Scattaboo like 50 carries, Ollie Gordon 50 carries. That's what I want. That's all I want.
Commish, I want you to give me one opinion about Arizona UCF. Give me one opinion.
They fired Ted Roof. Can I go through his list?
Oh, please do.
Please do.
All right. So in the offseason, I did like the journeyman coach thing, but I've never done Ted Roof. So Ted Roof was the defensive coordinator of UCF, and he's been constantly employed since 1987. Like he has not had any gaps in his resume, but he just got
reference. I was born in 84.
Okay, I was born in 81, but shout out to my wife, born in 87. So really, in here, he started his career 1987, Alabama graduate assistant, 1987 to 88. Then he went to West Georgia. He was the linebackers coach. Then from 90 to 93, he was a linebackers coach at Duke. Then 1994, he was in linebackers, defensive line at UMass. Then he was the DC at UMass from 95 to 96. 1997, he was the DC at Western Carolina. 1998, Georgia Tech linebackers coach. 1999 to 2000, Georgia Tech defensive coordinator. He was the DC at Duke from 2002 to 2003. And the 2003 season, he became Duke interim head coach. He upset UNC that year. And then became Duke's head coach from 2004 to 2007, where he was 6-45.
Yeah, Duke fans do not speak highly of his tenure.
No, not at all. Then he left Duke after getting fired as a head coach and became the DC at Minnesota in 2008. Then, for some odd reason, he got hired by Gene Chizik in Auburn in 2009 to 2011, and he was the DC. He won a national title thanks to Cam Newton.
He did.
In 2010. After 2011, he was let go in 2011, but he got the UCF DC job in the same year, 2011.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. 2012, he was the DC at Penn State. 2013 to 2017, back at the DC for Paul Johnson and Georgia Tech. Then assistant head coach in 2018 and co-DC at NC State. 2019, DC at App State. 2020, the defensive coordinator at Vandy. 2021, he was a defensive assistant at Clemson. 2022 and 2023, he was the DC linebackers coach at Oklahoma. And then at UCF, he did not even make it 2/3 of the season, and he was the DC linebackers coach for UCF. And now he is unemployed, and that is the story of Ted Roof. He's really only the furthest west that he's been. I would either say whether is it Minnesota or Oklahoma. Probably Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yeah. So like he's only been. Is Minnesota on the west of the Mississippi, or is it on the east?
The University of Minnesota is in Minneapolis, so it is on the west side.
Okay, west side. So he's only been west of the Mississippi coaching twice, Minnesota and Oklahoma.
I'm pretty sure. Don't. I've only been to Minneapolis once. Don't yell at me, Minnesota fans. I'm checking.
This is absolutely a wild thing. Do you think he owns furniture?
Ted Roof moves into like fully furnished apartments, like those fancy apartments you see downtown, and you're like, who the hell lives in that? That's Ted Roof.
I got this back. I have this backwards. Minnesota, The University of Minnesota is on the east side of the river.
Okay. Glad you corrected yourself before we had rabid Minnesota fans coming at us.
But it is in Minneapolis.
Other games, we don't have to talk a ton about these. ODU at App State, Navy at Rice, Navy coming a bounce back, hopefully after their shellacking by Notre Dame.
Rice, oh God, Rice just fired their coach too.
Good, coach bounce.
Maybe. But you never really want to see that.
I thought you said Rice just fried their coach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that too.
different.
Ole Miss and Arkansas, that game is always just a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't. How we not seen any highlights of that weird 4th down conversion in OT or whatever?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, I mean, nothing has crossed the timeline yet. Like, you remember this? You remember this weird lateral on the 4th down that ruined my life as an Ole Miss fan?
Uh-huh.
You remember that? Yeah. You remember? I haven't seen it cross the timeline yet. It'll show up eventually.
You saw it at Nebraska. If Nebraska is currently at 5 wins?
5-3, I think.
Okay, so this is the chance to be the Bulge Bowl for the first time since 2016.
That's right.
That's been so long. That's been so long.
It has been. They're home against 2-5 UCLA. Then they have USC at USC. Then they're home against Wisconsin, and then on the road against Iowa. You need to do it now, Nebraska. You need to do it here. Like, this has to happen here. Do not chance the rest of the season. Don't. You got to get it done here.
Here are some other teams that have had bowl droughts since 2016 besides Nebraska. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ULM.
Oh, I mean,
UMass.
2012, yes. UMass has never made a bowl.
UMass has never made a bowl. Thank you.
In FBS.
Here are some teams who have made bowls since then, but more recently than Nebraska. Akron, Stanford, Vanderbilt, Temple, Colorado State, FIU. Yeah, this is a rough one, y'all.
Nebraska, you got to get this done. You got to do it this weekend.
If Nebraska does not make a bowl this year, that means they will have gone 2 full presidential administrations without a bowl game.
That's a long time.
Is again.
I mean, I'm rooting for them. I want to say I'm rooting for them specifically because I have a little trivia nugget to bring up when they make a bowl. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it till they make the bowl, but it's stored away in my mind palace.
North Carolina at Florida State. I assume there's going to be a Florida-shaped body at the end of this one.
Oh, God. I don't know.
Really? Because North Carolina can get vicious, and I don't think Florida State can stop it.
I mean, yeah, but like UNC's not very good. Like, they're not as bad as Florida State, obviously, but like they're not good. Did you see how many points JMU put on them? Like, yeah, I'm just saying this could get stupid.
I mean, I don't think Florida State can score 50.
No.
So if it gets stupid, UNC wins.
That's probably true.
They can if it's a foot race, they can outrun them, basically. Florida State at this point is, you were talking about another team that is just defeated. Like, they are done with the season. Sim to off season. Looking for that button real big right now. Georgia State, UConn.
This is going to be a sneaky good game.
Is this a conference game?
It's not.
No, UConn's not in a conference. It feels like it, though.
Yeah, this feels like a conference game.
UConn?
This is the same Georgia State team that...
Wait, that would mean UConn is in the Sun Belt?
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that.
Okay. ULM UConn. I'm down.
Football only, though, because they can't have the basketball in the Sun Belt.
ULM will die against UConn basketball. Yeah, guaranteed.
Oh, yeah. If you think ULM football would have a bad time against UConn football, their basketball team would leave a small crater.
Oh my
We've
God.
never talked about ULM basketball before. That's a whole other thing.
It says a lot about where we are in terms of conference realignment and stuff that I didn't even like register really that UConn is still an independent and was just like, this is some dumb fucked up conference game, isn't it?
They're both in the American for some reason, right?
Yeah.
Georgia State, UConn, both in like it's the Big East, but it's like Big East Part 2.
It's the Big East if the Big East didn't die.
Mm-hmm. Zombie Big East, appropriate for Halloween.
Oh, that'd be a good costume.
It's the smaller Eastern.
That's good. Golf clap on that one. Polite applause.
Well, okay, no, because we got the Big East.
Mm-hmm.
We also got there is a Middle East. Where is the Small East?
I like calling it the Middle East, the Middle East Conference.
It's not in the
It's-
middle.
It's
Pour one-
UConn.
Pour one out for Texas A&M's Qatar campus.
Mm-hmm.
Founding member of the Middle East Conference.
No, I mean, you can't call it the Mid-Eastern Atlantic Conference because that's the MEAC.
That's taken.
But, that's taken. So just call it like the Eastern Time Zone Conference, the ETC.
I like it.
Yeah.
Georgia State. This is the same Georgia State that beat a pretty good Vandy
Yeah.
in Diogo's Pavia's bad game. And UConn looking for bowl eligibility for the first time since 2012. Sorry, 2022. They're right on the cusp of this. Like they're gonna they have enough games that they're gonna make a bowl this year. Which
They should, because they got UAB left on the schedule.
And
if
UMass.
they don't win this one, but this is the this is the last game of the homestand, so they need to make it happen. I think here.
If they win this, they'll have won every home game.
Shout out to them defeating all the Owls, and we donated to the Husky Ticket Fund.
Oh yes,
we did that too.
$25 per owl. Yes,
that's right.
Minnesota at Illinois, man.
Is this a trophy?
It's Paul Bunyan's left toe. It's the old brass knuckle. It's the wooden alabaster tile. It's the old oaken log. I got nothing.
It's the Illigof.
List of Big Ten football rivalry.
No,
games.
I love it. No, fuck it. It's the Illigof trophy. It's the Illigof trophy. It's done.
The Illigof.
Yeah, Illigof. There we go.
There is no trophy for this game.
There needs to be a trophy.
Be.
Like it's again. This is Big Ten West forever. Again, we got to sing the Celine Dion song.
Why is
Here, far, wherever
They've played this game fucking 79 times in history. 76.
why is Illigof giving Caddyshack? Why am I specifically picturing the gopher from Caddyshack?
It's a Cinderella story.
What's a Cinderella
Right.
story? Oh,
Cinderella
Caddyshack.
story.
Sorry, yes.
That's right. Oh, you got all of that one.
Because I am going to Pitt at SMU, I am not allowed to. I'm not going to give my pick on this game. As a journalist, journalist things. Can't give my pick on this game. Just talking about the big.
Are you bringing your dog too? I mean, are you going to bring your dog? Like
bringing Julep? No, Julep would just shit on everything. No, she would just shit on everything. No, she's not trained like Dennis.
Julep Herbstreit.
He would try to take down Peruna. Just like
good.
I want that horse to shit everywhere. Yeah, I can't pick this one, so just gonna give my high points. Great teams both fighting each other. It's gonna be a real close game. I love what I'm seeing from Pat Narduzzi and his boys. SMU's really trying their best out there. Good ACC title. Gonna be a great game, y'all. Excited to call it.
So the main thing I have to say about this game coming into it, beyond do not look at Pitt, do not hype Pitt. This is not a thing that we are equipped to handle. There's not a thing I am emotionally equipped to handle. We're just going to exist and we're going to enjoy this, and we're not going to be out here being mad about our AP ranking or about anything else. We can be mad later if and when we have earned the right to be mad. But what I will say is this. So towards the end of the Syracuse game, Eli Holstein had the ball. He ran out of bounds, and it was a little bit of an awkward landing, but he looked like he was fine. And then he stood up, and then he wasn't fine. And everybody on Pitt Twitter was like, "Oh no!" And shortly after that happened, Pat Narduzzi was like, "Yeah, Eli's fine. It was precautionary, whatever." And then yesterday it was like, well, actually Nate Yarnell is warming up is practicing with the number ones this week, and we don't know who's gonna start. Okay. SMU coach Rhett Lashley said that QB Kevin Jennings also questionable for the I am thinking that at least one and probably both of these coaches are just doing the coach QB mindfuck, and I respect that.
Jennings, I remember there was an interception, and a Duke player basically launched himself at Jennings's knees in the middle of the return.
Yeah.
And kind of like flipped Jennings. So I feel like Jennings is in a little bit worse shape. But, they still have the quarterback that was the backup last year that led them to the American Conference title as the backup. Also, if Holstein's banged up, you do have a capable backup for both teams. And if both teams are like doing this, like, what is this? They're holding their cards close together.
Mhm.
They don't
To the
want
chest,
to.
yeah.
They gotta. I don't know if we're gonna. You gotta prepare for two quarterbacks here. We got to do this. Or are they really hurt? Or they're not really hurt? All I really care about is the rematch of the 1983 Cotton Bowl. SMU, Pitt, Dan Marino, Eric Dickerson. Let's go.
Did SMU win that game?
I don't know. I think Dan Marino threw a lot of interceptions or something. I have no idea.
Yeah, he did do that. If you go back and look at his stats, like he had a pretty. I mean, I found this out because he had a pretty good Detmer ranking, if I recall correctly.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He did. Oh yeah, this final score in the game. Just guess the final score. Don't look it up.
42-39.
Okay.
No, it's like 16-5.
7-3.
Oh yeah.
SMU won. 7-3.
Cool.
Yeah, we didn't allow double-digit scores in the 80s. That was considered un-Reagan-like.
Yeah. So
I
Dan
thought
Marino
the
did
80s
not
were
have
all
a great
about
game.
excess.
Dan
Well,
Marino did not have a great game.
Nate Yarnell, I forgot that he does have a bowl win under his belt. He did win the 2022 Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Well, he did, but also Pitt hero and legend Nick Patty led the game-winning drive in that Sun Bowl because
That
Nate
is
Yarnell
right.
went out with an injury. We stand Nick Patty.
Okay. Well, who knows who I'll see. I'm so excited to watch that game. Good, strong teams on both sides. Giving it lots of heart. Love to see it. Excited to call that game.
All right, Jordan Herbstreit. Let's get out of here. We're gonna get you on Wheels Up.
Wheels
Private
up, yeah.
jet.
Fly me somewhere in my private.
We'll fly you from McKinney to Dallas.
Total flight time 20 minutes.
I mean, there's no way it's 20. Yeah, traffic could be bad. Who knows?
We're flying you from DFW to Love Field.
Yep.
Get him a chopper. Like let's get Jordan chopper, the Sickos Committee chopper to get him.
Do we have chopper rental money? I don't know what choppers cost.
How about just join the Patreon so we can rent a chopper to fly Jordan from McKinney to
my house.
SMU.
Have this mental image of you landing on the 50.
Honestly, like if your wife saw you get picked up for a helicopter for a game.
Oh, totally more legit. More legit.
This would be a whole lot more. We may have to pull this off.
Just, hey, honey, I'm going to work.
Going to work. See you later. Bye. Bye, kiddo. Bye. And you're taking Julia.
Yeah, come on, Julie, in the plane.
Take the dog. Taking the dog and the chopper. Get to the chopper.
Virginia Tech at Syracuse on the CW at 11 a.m. Central. Hell yeah.
This is perfect. This is what we need in week 10.
Kyle McCord definitely get right game. He won't throw any exceptions this week.
I think he's going to come back home to the dome and just be himself again. It's going to be fine.
Okay.
Tulane at Charlotte on Halloween.
Spooky. Ooh, spooky.
Charlotte gave Memphis hell. And this feels like Tulane's going to have a bad time for a bit.
I don't know. Like Biff has these games where, again, Charlotte's kind of up and down. Like they will have a great game.
I don't understand Charlotte at all this year.
I don't. I'm fascinated by them, but I don't understand. Like,
I mean, I remember sitting here talking to you guys and saying it was going to be a 1-11 Charlotte year.
No, I didn't think it was going to be that. Like they blew the ever living crap out of like East Carolina, which East Carolina just blew crap out of Temple. Nothing makes sense, right?
Right.
But, East Carolina fired their coach. Then Navy beats the crap out of Charlotte, which I thought, Charlotte would give them a little bit. And Tulane has a similar style offense, not necessarily the option, but they have a heavy, heavy run-based attack. And Charlotte could not withstand Navy. I don't know if they could do that against Tulane. But Memphis has a little bit more weird passing style attack. And then they have, they have a little bit different style of offense than what Tulane does. So, like Memphis threw the ball like 32 times. Like Tulane, if they throw the ball 32 times, it's probably something's going wrong.
Yeah, that's not what their plan is, for sure.
No, definitely. So if Tulane can get rolling pretty quick, and then they can control the clock and control the game, which, again, Charlotte is very, very inconsistent, I would say.
That's the word I would use. Inconsistent is the word I'd use to describe them.
Yeah.
From game to game, I'm really not sure what I'm going to see from them.
No.
Now,
you kind of know what you're going to get from Tulane at this point. Kind of. Yeah.
Like good, not great Tulane. It's not as good as they were like 2 years ago, but they are a solid American team. And they should handle Charlotte handily. And if they don't, then right.
I would be concerned.
ULM at Marshall. Is this game 6?
I believe in ULM. Do you believe in ULM?
I believe in ULM. Do you believe in ULM? Oh, the faces he's making.
Shun the non-believer. Shun.
Why
are we more about this than you are? Come on.
I mean,
I can't.
I know exactly
already
why.
called my shot. Like ULM is going to get 6 in Jonesboro.
Okay.
And they're going to end the streak. I don't have a good feeling about them going to Marshall, West Virginia. Like Huntington. I don't have a good feeling about them traveling there and facing that crowd.
Appalachia is also spiritually the opposite of swamp.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think. I don't have good vibes for ULM coming into this one. I feel like they may, if they can play a clean game, like if they don't do the thing they did against South Alabama where they throw the interception, like they have a couple one-play interception drives.
Yeah,
they don't do that. If they can steal a possession here or there from Marshall and maybe get some defensive, good field position or something, maybe they could pull this off. Like I don't have a bad feeling about this game. It's just kind of like this is going to be really tough. If they pull this off, I'm going to be extremely jubilant, and that they're bowl eligible. It's going to be great. If they win this game, the Marshall head coach is on the hot seat.
Oh, duh. Yeah, 100%. Was already there, and it's going to get significantly worse.
He's already kind of in that weird, hey, the seat's kind of warm, hottish a little bit. But if ULM wins this game, I could see ULM winning this game on some weird late play.
Yeah.
Either getting an interception or forcing a fumble late when Marshall's or maybe blocking a field goal or something like that. But it's going to have there's going to have to be one of those games where we watch Parker's Stats of War and did we really get beat this bad? And ULM is at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they win this, is that ULM's going to win this, but also Marshall will outplay them.
Yeah, this will be where Marshall's going to have to put up a spinach team of the week style here and just either miss a lot of field goals, not convert 4th downs or something. I know the spread's only 9. I feel like that's tiny, but I think ULM has the capability to do it. Do I think it's going to happen? I'm leaning no, but I want to be wrong. I just want to be wrong. I just do.
Jordan, can I get the uncut gems? This is how I win, but you've just pasted the ULM logo over his face.
Oh, yes. Put that in the ideas thread, please. Yes.
I will. Yep.
The only thing I want to say about San Diego State at Boise State is that San Diego State's defense, EPA per rush, is one of the worst in the country, and Boise State's is one of the best.
Oh,
Ashton
man.
Genty is going to run for a
Wait, where
bazillion
is it?
yards.
Where's the
1
game, though?
trillion yards.
The
Where's
game
the
is in
game?
Boise.
Okay, if it was in Snapdragon, I'd be concerned about Genty because there's sand everywhere.
His ankle in that field. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's in Boise.
Yeah, it's in Boise. I'm a little bit. I feel a little bit better for Boise at this point.
This is going to get those numbers back up. Thank you.
I feel like all the Wazoo players are still like picking sand out of their
Shoes.
and
Yeah.
they're like they went to the beach and they still finding sand everywhere. It's that's what it feels like.
Nothing like coming home with a pocket full of sand. Fucking hate that.
That's right.
But
Pocket
that's where you
sand.
keep your pocket sand.
It's true. To help blind everyone who's trying to attack me.
I don't know. I think it's coarse and
Rough and
Irritating. Gets everywhere.
the episode of this podcast where I realized that he said he hated sand because he lived on Tatooine was one of those aha moments, and I can't believe it happened like 25 years after that movie came out. Air Force and Army, the best thing that happened so far is the cadets snuck in, and on the Army Stadium where it says Air Force, they put a CH in.
Yep.
So it says Air Force from the highway. That's great.
That's
Fucking
very
A+ Army. Go
Hey,
cadets.
That's like an own goal for Air Force. Like, I mean, you're gonna put that on your stadium. Like, you gotta you can't have two sections there. You can't do that. Like, you can't let that happen. Like, you cannot design your stadium that way. That is not good foresight on Air Force. Like, you can't have two sections where they could put CH there. You can't do it.
Duke at Miami is the Manny Diaz revenge game.
Yeah, it is.
Manny
Let's
Diaz.
If Mario, this is the game that Mario needs to lose on a weird, I forgot how to play football, how to coach football kind of thing.
Oh my God. At 11 a.m. on ABC for the entire world to see.
In Miami. Oh yeah. No crowd like a fucking crowd at Hard Rock Land Shark Stadium. Then
at noon.
A nooner against Duke. Oh yeah. There's going to be 4 people in the stands. Memphis at UTSA. Oh, just UTSA. I hope you got some juice for this one. Memphis is going to be mad. Memphis is going to be mad about that last week, and they're going to come swinging. I'm afraid. I think they've had Indiana at Michigan State on Peacock. They have it listed as a Peacock game for like months now. But now I'm going to say that they wanted to keep the most exciting Big Ten football behind a paywall.
That's right. That's what you want to do. I'm going to say Michigan State's going to put up a really good fight here.
I think so. This is in East Lansing, and they tend to play better at home anyways.
I like, I know he left Oregon State in like unceremonious fashion. But, again, I like their coach. For Michigan State. I'm a big fan of Jonathan Smith. Rourke is banged up. I don't know if Rourke is back. This is going to be a tricky game for Indiana. It's going to be a tricky game. It's on the road. But I mean, who knows? Kirk Cignetti could just fucking just obliterate Michigan State like it's nothing.
You know what Kirk Cignetti, Jesus Christ, Kirk Cignetti does, right? He just wins.
He wins.
Just wins.
Google him.
Google him.
All I do is win, no matter. No.
Yeah.
Other games this week, we don't talk a ton about these. The Big 10 pair, the Big 12 pair that I do enjoy, Kansas State at Houston, Texas Tech at Iowa State. Texas Tech at Iowa State at 2:30. I like that game. Texas Tech has been on the slide lately, but Iowa State plays a stupid game here or there, and this feels like it. Kansas State going to Houston feels like there's going to be a cougar-shaped hole in the ground.
Yes.
Did Houston beat Utah or vice versa? I can't remember. I know it was 17-14.
Houston beat Utah.
Okay, so this is a letdown. Okay, never mind.
Houston beat TCU.
Utah is not okay. Utah is very not okay.
No. Iowa State at home aims against Texas Tech. If this one was like a night game.
Yeah, that's my complaint about this game is that I want this to be nighttime in Ames.
The weird game could happen, but it's on ESPN. It's going to be on the quad box because
of course.
I don't know what to expect from Texas Tech anymore this year. Like I I'm so confused by Texas Tech. And then Iowa State's like undefeated for the first time since like 1896 or whatever.
Whatever it was,
whatever year it was. But that's gonna be weird. K-State, they should handle Houston, but
no, there's no here there. Kansas State's gonna roll over Houston.
They should, but I mean they should. I'm just gonna leave it at that. They should.
They should. They will.
I want to put a butt there, but it's like they should.
Don't put a butt there. I see. As I'm not calling this game, I can say things about this game. Kansas State, my lock of the week. Cling, lock of the week.
All right, I'm betting Houston now.
Yeah, you absolutely should. That could be our gimmick. We can do bets, but but mine are always wrong.
Always jinx. The Jordan jinx of the week.
We got Coastal Carolina at Troy, Georgia Southern at South Alabama.
Oh, fun belt. Those. Oh my God, those rule.
See, really? Because I see two games. Well, okay. Coastal Troy should be good because I don't think either of those teams are very good, and this is going to be a very close thing. Georgia Southern is going to get their butts handed to them at South Alabama. No. Georgia Southern's on a bad slide right now, man. They're in a bad way.
What?
The Clay Helton shine is off the apple.
What? What
is
Georgia Southern's record?
There was Clay Helton shine at some point.
What is Georgia Southern's record? Tell me that.
Have they won 5 games? No.
They're 5-3.
Really? It does not feel that way.
They are 5-3. South Alabama is 4-4. South Alabama just won their first game on Saturday last week against ULM.
I remember that.
Yes.
I think the 47-19 thrashing by Old Dominion may have put some sour on that. Georgia Southern
colored your judgment a bit.
Yeah, I got recency bias.
It's fine. But I mean, that was a Thursday night game in ODU. It's okay. Georgia Southern beat James Madison, dude. All right. Like, how do you?
Yeah, that was. I can't make those work. Hawaii at Fresno State at 6 p.m. Central.
I hate it. Feels weird.
4 p.m. West Coast time, 3 p.m. local or 2 p.m. local. That's weird.
It's weird.
This is like a noon game for Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Texas A&M, South Carolina, the classic rivalry on ABC.
This is the you join the SEC now. This is your rival. Enjoy.
USC Washington on the Big Ten Network.
That's where this game belongs.
It's the Pac-12, but on the Big Ten Network. Yay!
Maybe the rowdiest game this week, of course, is Florida Georgia, world's largest outdoor cocktail party, whatever they want to call it nowadays.
It's the cocktail party.
Right. In Jacksonville, I don't think Florida has a shot. I don't think Florida fans think they have a shot either. So just go through the motions.
Do something stupid, Florida. Do something really stupid to just piss off Georgia fans. Like just have a weird halftime lead, like 17-13 or something like that.
Yeah.
And just like, how the hell does Florida have this lead? And then like Georgia just wakes up in the second half. I could see that. Like, just do something really stupid, Florida.
See, I see the same thing with Kentucky at Tennessee. Kentucky just throws so much sand in the gears for the first half.
Yeah.
And then he cracks open a 40-point lead.
Yeah. I do think that there's like a universe in which Kentucky drags Tennessee down into the mud with them for at least a little bit. I mean, because Arkansas did that and it worked.
Yeah, I don't think they have the stamina that Arkansas has, which is a wild thing to say, but I think that they can do it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oregon is going to murder Michigan.
Yeah. You want to see a dead body? I know I say that every week, but like there are so many dead bodies to see.
This is going to be a Wolverine shaped.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oregon's going to murder them.
Oregon's really good.
No.
Okay.
This is going to be ugly. This is going to be ugly as hell. This is going to be gross. This is going to be Oregon to Ann Arbor. Oregon may pull this off, but it's going to be not as pretty as you think it is going to be. Like this feels like
this.
Michigan fans are going to hate me for saying this, but I don't see a great reason why this should be substantively super different than the Illinois game was.
Wow. Okay. I disagree. I think
I don't look, Michigan. You're the defending national champions. Nothing I say can hurt you.
No, they don't care at this point. Yeah.
I think this is a 7 to 10 point game at the end. I don't think it's like
difference in score or final score. Because if it's a 10-7 game, then
no. Like difference in final score. Like I don't think Oregon's going to run away with this. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a grind out victory for Oregon if they do get the win. Like I'm looking at like 30 or like 27-20 here. I'm maybe 27-17. I don't see Oregon just running all over Michigan in Ann Arbor. I don't see it. I can't see it. I know Michigan is not what Michigan was last year, but I feel like their lines are good enough to just gum up the works a bit for Oregon, and I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be an ugly, like, Oregon, you're in the Big Ten now game.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know if Michigan has enough to win it, but I think it's going to be like 27-20 or 27-17, something like that. Something maybe 26-19, something weird.
What is going to give first? Penn State's inability to beat Ohio State or Ohio State's inability to beat a top 3 team? One of those things has to give.
I'm not convinced Penn State's the real deal, so I'm gonna take
the
A.
number next to them says 3.
Yeah, it does say that. They did also fuck around with Bowling Green.
I saw someone try to shit on Pitt by saying that they fucked around with Kent State.
No. No, if you actually watch that game, no. Maybe for like a quarter. In the literal first game of the season. Everybody fucks around in the first game of the season. It's fine.
And not like Penn State fucked around with Bowling Green.
No.
I don't care about this game.
I know.
I just don't. It's
just funny that something has to give in this. Because these are two teams that are anxious about their position in life.
What's funnier? What's the funnier outcome? Ryan Day loses or James?
Oh no, it's much funnier if James Franklin still can't get over the hump. But that's just my bias.
I think it's funnier if Ryan Day goes down on this one.
You are not surrounded by millions of happy Penn State fans if that happens.
You're right.
That's true. No, but the funny part is that Penn State will likely crap to bed later.
That's true.
But I don't know. Like the Ryan Day hot seat thing gets really loud if they lose this. The James Franklin thing. Like I don't think James Franklin's on the hot seat if he loses this.
He's not.
The Ryan Day, like, born on third base comment, like that gets really loud if they loses this game. And then you have interim coach Chip Kelly.
Oh God. Okay, our FCS random wheel pick of the week. Merrimack at Robert Morris.
Bobby Moe.
A game for us to monitor.
We got to monitor Booby Moe.
Hold on. I gotta look at their actual records.
Bobby Moe is not that great. And neither is Merrimack because
Merrimack's 4-4. Bobby Moe's 5-3.
Oh wow!
Bobby Moe almost at a bowl game.
They're necking their way. Bobby Moe.
They're necking their way through.
All right, what are they in the neck?
Let's see what the neck looks like. Standings. Where's my NEC? They're second in the NEC behind. Sorry, Duquesne. No. Actually, I don't know how they do this. Duquesne's 3-0 in the NEC, 5-2 overall. Bobby Moe is 4-0 in the NEC, 5-3 overall.
Yeah.
Wait, are you telling me we could have like an NEC Pennsylvania showdown?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, actually, that is the week after next, Saturday, November 9th. Bobby Moe at Duquesne up on the bluff. Give a preview for your preview. This is also a regularly scheduled reminder that Bobby Moe lost to our friends, the Edinburgh Fighting Scots. Let's fucking go, PSAC.
So wait. They lost to a D2 team.
They did.
And they're undefeated in the any. Oh God, I love you.
4-0 conference. Yeah.
Yes, I just. Oh my God, it just means something.
Respect the PSAC.
Arthur, what are your basic movies on cable update? What do we got for this week?
Yeah, so I figured in honor of Kyle McCord throwing 5 picks on last Thursday night, I will give you 5 picks for movies that you can watch this week. So I'm going to start on Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central, Thursday night on USA. You can watch Skyscraper. This is the movie that borrows heavily from Die Hard. It stars Dwayne Johnson, and he has a prosthetic leg, and like they get a ton of mileage out. I feel like they had to like justify him having a prosthetic leg in the movie.
You have to kill people with the leg to justify the leg.
Yeah, like they have to get a lot of mileage out of that. Then Friday night, 7 p.m. Central on TBS, Django Unchained.
Oh God!
So you want to watch basic cable like
Tarantino
TBS version of Django Unchained?
I've still not seen that one. I have.
That's got to be cut down to like a 45-minute supercut.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Do not watch it on TBS because it's just going to be bleeps and weird skips.
Cool.
Then 3 p.m. Central on Saturday on VH1, you can watch Blue Streak, which is the Martin Lawrence movie where it's not about a cop going undercover as a criminal. It's about a criminal going undercover as a cop.
Oh wait, because he hides. No, I remember this. He hides the money in like
diamond.
the keys. Yes, I remember this.
It's Sister Act for cops.
There was cash money involved in this one. They rock ice. Like there was like a
Luke Wilson's in this.
Why did they do Sister Act for cops?
And at the end, he said that he was just like a federale at all times, and I'm just waiting for Blue Streak 2, federale in action. I mean, I am ready for this. I rock ice.
I mean, Martin Lawrence can't be that busy at this point. Then I wanted to give you an option for, because we don't have any really late games, right? Okay. So Saturday night, 11 p.m. Central on TNT, you could watch Taken.
Classic. Ooh. Great movie. Okay.
And then I want to close out with one here, 9 p.m. Central, Saturday night on a channel called Fuse, which I've never heard of before. You can watch the movie Badass 2 Badasses. If you remember, this franchise came up before because the third movie in the franchise is called Badasses on the Bayou. But that one's not airing. But if you're like, I'm going to watch Badasses on the Bayou, maybe I should watch the movie that came before it. So I like. Well, I mean, I'm assuming you need to see previous Badasses movies.
I need to make sure I got the right Badasses.
So I can't help you with the first movie, Badass, but I can give you Badass 2 Badasses. Again, that's 9 p.m. Central on a channel called Fuse.
All right, I'm gonna give you the 2 stars of Badasses. Badass 2 Badasses.
I looked it up. I'm so excited now.
Right.
I did not look it up.
All right. Danny Trejo.
Done. Sold.
And Danny Glover.
Sold.
Yeah. Okay, honestly, yeah, sure.
I'm in.
These movies all came out in like the 2010s. So like it's like older Danny Trejo and Danny Glover.
Yeah, obviously.
Yes. Danny Glover still not too old for this shit to be a badass.
The director also directed Saving Ryan's Privates, the 41-year-old virgin who knocked up Sarah Marshall and felt super bad about it, and a movie called Breaking Wind.